And he starts by saying that it's critical to remember, and he doesn't develop it as much as he certainly could, that God is a spirit. And what he means by that, he makes explicit that he doesn't mean necessarily that God is immaterial or that God is invisible, or anything that could be entailed by his immateriality or his invisibility, but rather God as spirit brings into view, and this is a critical thing to grasp up front, the energy of life in God. You can see that in that first full paragraph under the nature and attributes of Jehovah. And what that means is really important to grasp, and we need to spend just a little bit of time on it. That God is spirit reminds us that while God, Jehovah, is immutable in his being and impassible in his actions, that he acts in such a way that he conditions all he acts upon without himself being mutually conditioned or acted upon by the creature. And so God is pure act in the sense that he is not acted upon, and that action of God is what accounts for the change and character of the creature without there being any kind of reciprocal bilateral mutual conditioning of the creator and the creature. So what he's asking us to think about is something very similar to the shorter catechism 4, that God is spirit. And what does that mean? He is infinite, eternal, and unchangeable in his being, wisdom, power, holiness, justice, goodness, and truth. And as spirit, we understand his energy of life. Now, I think maybe one way to think about it is that the energy of life in the creature is always finite, always limited, always developmental, always realizing a yet to be fully actualized potential. But when we're talking about God as spirit, and Voss is setting up for us an understanding of how this God who is spirit relates to the world, the emphasis is going to be that God is, while immutable, active and living and fully actualized in his relation to creation. And so Voss being once again not only the father of Reformed biblical theology, but a first-rate dogmatic theologian, he's upholding something foundational to what we've seen, for instance, in that Van Til course and in our recent discussions of Van Til. He's upholding that God is going to remain fully self-contained in his living, active relation to creation.